Hi friends, happy June. This is our first Dream Team chat of the summer season. And that means we're just meeting once a month till September. So we are excited to be bringing you content tonight that will carry you into the summer months and hopefully through the summer months with success in your business. So tonight we are talking about ways that you can work your business, ways that you can produce income and results and wins in your business during the summer months. And what we find as Cincy consultants is the summer months tend to be busy, but not in a sales type of way, but in a way that like our customers are busy and us as consultants are busy. Think about it. Kids are home, vacations are happening. If kids are in travel ball, all that's happening, right? People are very busy in the summer. And so please be careful. And so we recognize that sometimes there's a bit more of a push to get sales, to have our customers commit to purchasing a product, and also for consultants to work because we are also juggling all the things, right? Busy schedules in the summer is just unavoidable, I think. And so when we can have business tasks that work and that heed results, it allows us to really simplify things and just focus on working on what actually works. So tonight, we just have 4 simple and quick tips for you as you're leading into the summer season in your Cincy business. Okay, these tips again to mimic everything that we've been doing over the last 2 months, where we're really trying to simplify things, make it duplicatable. Okay, that way you can do it now and you can do it later, and you can teach your team to do the same thing. It's the same thing here. We didn't want to come give you a list of a million different things. We wanted to keep it bare bones and very simple, because at the core of it, these 4 things should be done, and everything else that you can add in is fluff and extra. Okay, and this doesn't have to be the core for always and forever, because you might be in a different season 2 or 3 months from now where you're adding in other things. But while things are very busy and hustling and bustling, we have these tasks for you. Okay, you want me to do the first 2?
I can do the first. Or yeah, it doesn't matter.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the first one is, and to give you guys a little hint, it is the 4 things that we posted on the little Dream Team reminder. So if you guys want something to refer back to, you can just save that graphic that we shared. But the first one is going to be following up, right? And so for me personally, I'm not going as often following up that I do like in a regular season, not in a summer month, just because I'm busy, my customers are busy, right? And so I'm doing it as I can, or as regularly as possible, but it's not going to be maybe on a weekly basis like I normally do it. It's going to be during specific times of the month when things are happening. So during launches, or when I'm doing my boxes, or when people are ordering online and I'm following up with if they've gotten their order, things of that nature. And so I'm just putting in little reminders for myself to follow up a few times a month, and not as regularly, because I know I want to be paying attention to what my customers are doing as well, right? When they're going on vacation and stuff, I don't want to be bothering them. I don't want to be texting them while they're on vacation or while I'm out with my family. I want to make sure that there's a good balance of that. And so figuring out a follow-up schedule for you that would work, and then just paying attention to your customers' habits, and just knowing that like when you're following up during the summer season, it might be more frequent where your regular customers may not respond to you right away, or they may not respond to you at all, or they may not need things as often, just because of the way that the summer usually goes. But that does not mean that we stop the habits that we've created, and especially the ones that are good customer service habits that we've put into place, right? Following up is still a priority, which is why it's number 1. Following up is still something that we need to be doing in our business, so we stay at the forefront of our customers' minds as often as possible. But again, with the summer season, it just may not be as regular as it is. And just me and I'm sure Alex too, being in business this long, we just understand that like people are out of their house, they're on vacation, they may not need wax, maybe they want pods, or maybe they're just traveling more and just not using the Scentsy. It will come back around, but don't stop the follow-up system, okay? Pay close attention to your Scentsy Connect app, utilize that as a tool, utilize that as a reminder. But don't stray away from your follow-up. You can decrease how often you're doing it, but don't remove it from your habits. Okay, because if you do remove it from your habits, it's going to be really hard to try to plug it back in when the busy season comes around, right? You're going to be like, well, I have a million things to do. How am I going to find time to follow up now? It's like, okay, well, keep that in your cycle of things that you're doing, even if it's less often than it normally is. That's okay. Okay. The second thing is the second task, which is something that we've started doing more on a regular basis. We kind of created our game plan. We've talked about it a lot, and we've done trainings on it here for like 6 weeks. We did content-based trainings where we talked about this idea of providing more video content, more valuable content that provides a well-rounded view of who you are to your customers, to your network, whoever. And that was kind of all intentional, right? Because during the summer is prime time for you to be sharing content, because you're going to be busy, you're going to be having things to talk about, you're going to be with your family, you're going to be with your kids, and you're going to be taking Scentsy with you or doing whatever, but you're going to have the opportunity to provide content that your customers or your network is going to have time to see while they're road tripping or on a plane or on a boat or camping or whatever. They might be viewing these things more often. And so creating content or getting in that group of creating content that not necessarily is Scentsy related, right? This does not have to be just strictly business related. This is content that adds value in terms of gives an insight into who you are, who your family is, what you like, that builds your brand, and you can sprinkle Scentsy in there, but creating content so that you also stay at the forefront of your network's mind, your customer's mind, all that stuff, but you're also just continuing to build a very strong foundation for other times in your business where you're wanting to sell more, do more, recruit more, all of those things. And you may be in that season right now. All of this is just building a really great foundation. And you may ask, like, why is that? How is that income producing? This is long game. Okay. Providing content, figuring out a schedule, or just figuring out what you want your brand to look like, what you want your aesthetic to look like, what you want to be talking about, what you want to be known for. All of those things it's a long game process where you are literally building trust and you're building relationship with your network. You're building community, you're bringing people in, you're meeting new people, you're having new people follow you, you're introducing people to who you are, and you're building that relationship. So come fall and winter, right? When we're in the new incentive or whatever, and you're wanting to increase your customers or you're wanting to increase your team, you have spent the summer getting to know these new people in your network or them getting to know you. And so that there's trust established or there's a relationship started, right? And so creating that content, figuring out what you like, figuring out what you're doing, the summertime is perfect for that, right? We talk about the spring, starting new systems and getting comfortable with something new or adding something new to our plate or doing something a little bit differently. Spring is the perfect time for that, but summer is a really great time to like, all right, dig your heels in, right? Is this going to fit? Is this what I'm really doing and actually committing to it? Okay. So if you've taken on doing content as one of those things and you've really taken hold of the trainings that we've done and you're diving into that, then the summertime is to really solidify that, have fun with it. Okay. Bring in your friends, bring in your family, figure out new ways to share who you are, share what you're doing, share your life, so that come a new season, fall and winter, or whenever that season comes up for you, that you have some new people to network to, you have some new relationships that are off to a good start, and you have some new people that you can talk to, maybe potentially new customers, right? And so that's why content is on there. And again, just remember that this is a long-term thing, right? We've been doing pretty consistent content now for at least a month, maybe a little bit longer than that. I don't remember, 2 months. We've been doing that, and it hasn't necessarily produced a whole lot of Scentsy related income producing, but it has opened doors to other areas for us. And it also has provided us direction into what we want our brand to look like, or what we actually feel comfortable doing, what gets a good response, what's actually building our network, the people that we're finding. Like, it's solidifying all that. So it's okay if it's not income producing tomorrow, right? You don't post a video today and then it produces income tomorrow, but you're building it for whenever, for when. Okay. And that's important. And summertime is the perfect time to do that. Spring, summer is the perfect time to do that. And so just be mindful of that.
Yep. Okay, moving on to the last two, and I'm going to kind of flip them. I'm going to go with networking first before my next point. And I think that networking is so very important, really not just in the summer. Okay, as business owners, this is something, all of these are things that we need to be doing all the time. But if we are really boiling down what we need to be working on, we absolutely need to be bringing new people into this business. Cincy Home Office has told us very point blank, like, this is the area that we are struggling. Numbers do not lie. Okay. We are not bringing in new customers. We're selling Scentsy like crazy. We're making a profit because we're selling Scentsy like crazy, but we are selling Scentsy to the same people over and over and over again. And we are not bringing in new customers and then therefore new teammates. And so it is highly important for your business's success that you continue to network. And if what you're doing isn't working, then try something else, because it's always going to be something that has to be done in this business. We are always going to need new people in our business. Like, you should have a goal every month to meet so many new people, to have so many new customers, 2 new customers, right? That's a good goal to have. 2 new customers every month is 24 in a year. If you have a month where you get 7 new customers a month, right? You're already blowing these statistics of no new customers out of the water. So I just wanted to first and foremost remind you that that is actually an area that we are very clear that we need to be working on. And as a business owner, like 100% accurate, like that is very important, getting new people into our business. And so it's very important that you're networking. Bree talked a lot about different ways that you can do that when posting on social media. Social media is a phenomenal way to network.
And it's free.
It's free.
Yeah.
The reach is insane. The videos don't go away. So if you're providing timeless or what they call evergreen content, right? So like a diffuser demo is evergreen content, because this is always how a diffuser is going to work, right? That evergreen content, I could post it today and then it could still be relevant a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. Okay. So social media is an incredible way to network, okay, because it's free, the content stays forever, and the reach is incredible. Also, everyone has their own little funky things about them. We're all a little quirky, okay? And in my town, there might not be as many quirky people who vibe with me, but guaranteed online, there's a lot more, right? So it's a lot easier to like find your people in the online space if you can be courageous enough to put yourself out there. Okay. I think that the online space is an incredible way to network, and you can network locally online, like in cities and surrounding cities, and then also broader to the whole internet. Okay. But networking is going to be very important. That's also where it's important, if we're talking networking online, to be posting other things other than Scentsy, because that's going to be how people connect with you, relate to you, and then follow you, send you a message, comment on your stuff, right? So it's double-sided on the social media side, because you have to make the content and then make it fit you and your brand. But if you can do those two things, you can network online very beautifully, and you can find your people very well. And when networking online and finding your people based off of your content, it's much easier to convert when you're ready to sell. Okay. So networking online, to me, it's the easiest and fastest way, because it's what I'm comfortable doing. Okay. Alternatively, and more traditionally, you can also, and we should be networking wherever we are locally in our own community. Okay. If you go to the same gas station, the same nail salon, the same hair the same vet, the same doctor, blah, 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 all these places that you are going, right? Look at your own life, look at the places you're going and see, have I introduced myself to the owner? Can I leave some samples? Can I leave that extra warmer sitting in my closet in a wax bar up here, right? Could I offer a fundraiser to this church or to this sports organization? Could I bring my testers up here while I'm getting my nails done and have them smell it, right? Like, think of the different ways that you can network. And then my tip for you guys is to have a funnel, have something to bring them into, right? It's cool to meet someone and have a good conversation. It's cool to meet someone and have a good conversation about Scentsy. But if you have nowhere to lead that, then it kind of just falls flat at a good conversation. So I always recommend either trying to get their number so then you can follow up with them. Okay. Add them to your VIP groups, and then they're seeing Scentsy and they are, you can message them, have them follow you on social media and follow them back, and you can message them. You can get their email, right? I saw someone say, she gets their address, people she meets, she gets their address and then drops off samples, washer whip samples.
Okay.
So many different ways to network. Okay. I could give you lists and lists, but ultimately, like, you're going to have to look at your life, the things you're doing, where you're going, the people you interact with regularly, businesses that you know of, connections that you know. Like, I have plenty of friends who own businesses, right? Like, these are all networking opportunities. Additionally, ask your customers for referrals. Okay. This is a really great way to network because it is a personal referral and people trust referrals. Okay.
Yep.
So have your customer, when their order is delivered, have your customer post it on their page. Offer to set up a party link for them to share pictures with their stuff. Okay. Ask them, hey, do you mind posting a review in my VIP group? Right. Tell them, hey, I'd love if you could share some of your favorites and tag me on social media. Right. Ask them, hey, do you know of anyone who might be looking to make some extra money doing what I do? Okay. This is the perfect opportunity to use your network and ask for referrals. Okay. It's a great way to expand your network of trusted people. Okay. So networking, that's going to be one of our summer tips. And then the last one, we wanted to throw in a little bit of fun for you. And this is to make sure that you're spending time with the people you love. Okay. Scentsy will naturally come up, of course. Talk very good about your business. Tell people what you're loving about your business. Bring testers with you. Hang out with the people you love. Make memories. Okay. Record content while you're there.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so important, you guys, that we remember that this business is a lot of fun, that we have no emergencies in Scentsy, that we sell fragrance. Okay. We sell fragrance that makes people's lives better. We need to be having fun in our business. If you get to a point where you feel like you're burnt out, like I know Brie and I are both feeling a little burnt out, to be honest. Like we're looking forward to our little dream team chat break because we're just tired girls. Okay. But we do know that when it gets to that point, like, we have to recharge ourselves and we have to show up for ourselves even before our business. Sometimes we have to take a day to ourselves. Sometimes we have to, say, you know what, this can wait and I'm going to spend time with my family instead. I'm going to play a board game. I'm going to put my phone down. Right.
And that's kind of like where the income producing plays in, right? Is that it's like, that whole idea of like, can't pour from an empty cup. Well, spending time with your family or your friends or whatever fills your cup, like, this is the time to refill your social battery or refill your heart in a way that you need. Because at the end of the day, that will produce income, because then you're ready to jump back into your business. You're refreshed, you're refueled, you're excited again, you're ready to tackle your business, you're ready to go, head first into it all. And so definitely take the breaks or the pauses or the moments to step back and to enjoy your time with your family, enjoy your summer, have fun with your content, have fun with your kids, have fun with your spouses or your friends or whatever makes you happy. Have fun doing that. Okay. And this should be all year round, but definitely during the summer where everybody else is doing it.
Yep.
Why not you, right? And a very practical way that me and Alex have actually started doing this is we've decreased the amount of posts that we are posting in our VIP group per day. And it's kind of like a little test to see, is that going to help with algorithm a little bit, right? And making sure that our people still see us. But also it's taken the load off of having to provide all this content
all the time,
right? It's like, all right, well, you know what? We actually know that people aren't on social media all day, every day, right? Looking to escape from their 9 to 5 because they're on vacation with their family or they're hanging out camping or
and
whatever.
certainly, this is kind of an aha right now, but it's like, and certainly they don't want to see my Scentsy all day, every day.
Right.
All day, every day. Like
Yeah.
literally, they do not need to see 7 posts of Scentsy
Yeah.
all day, every day.
Yeah. So we are
We're scaling way back.
We're scaling way back in the content, but also we're changing up the type of content we're providing. And so now it's not just Scentsy. Actually, it's
like
more
even more lifestyle blog.
Yeah.
We always tell you guys, like, do your VIP group like a lifestyle blog. And in hindsight, even still, we were doing it pretty salesy.
Yeah.
I feel like even more so now we're really approaching it in a way that brings us more joy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
for
more
sure.
sustainable for us to
And-
carry out long term.
Yes. I do want to say though, like overarching, here's the thing about this business. Here's the thing about business in general and just anything in life. We talk about having a growth mindset. I feel like me and Alex over the last year have really had to step into accepting the growth mindset because I think this is the first time in our business where things feel drastically different than they did when we first started. And so we are changing up the way that we have always done things. It's always worked. So we've always done that. It's worked for us. And that's why we've shared it with you and we've been very honest. And if it's working for you still, then I say roll with it until the wheels fall off. Right.
Totally.
But this is just a good reminder from us who have always done things a very specific way for the most part, right? We're okay with changes, but it's always worked. And so it's just a good reminder that we even have to pivot, right?
Oh, we hit brick walls, you guys.
100%. And it felt like in the past that it was just like minor brick walls.
Totally.
And we were like, all right, we can hop over this. Yeah. But this feels like, okay, we really have to change up what we're doing because it's not working for us anymore.
Yes.
Or it's not working for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, I think we finally got to a point where it's like, okay, we tried what was continuing to work for long enough to say, this is not working anymore.
Right.
And so instead of freaking out and saying all of this isn't working anymore, we're saying, okay, well, let's change this.
Yeah.
And let's change it for a little bit and let's see what it looks like.
Right.
Right.
And that would be the advice too, is to, if you're looking at your business and going, okay, this end result that I used to get, I'm not getting anymore. You have to look at the big picture. And then I don't like the idea of like being like, all right, we're going to totally switch it up and scrap this entire thing. It's like, no, take it piece by piece. Right. So it's like right now we're working on the content we provide, networking in a content way, right? Showing up differently on social media, period. Right. We're trying that because we notice that that's just the times that we're in, right? It's social media, it's influencer, it's
quick videos,
it's value, it's networking in that way. So that's what we're doing. That's how we're changing our Scentsy business in that way. Am I still trying to go for home parties? Yeah. Like I'm still asking my people if they want to party, not on such a regular basis, but like if somebody comes to me and says they want to do a home party, I'm doing a home party. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's a lot of things that I'm still sticking to, but I'm changing the way that it looks here. And I'm going to see what that looks like. I'm going to see what that produces. Okay. So take it piece by piece. But having a growth mindset, if you have not already gotten to that point in your business, one day you might. Okay. And this is just a reminder that everything that we have said up until this point has been solid advice for the space that we were in. And now we are actively in changing that. And we're going to share everything that's working for us in hopes that if somebody else feels this way, you can take it and it will work for you, or you can experiment, or you have the freedom to change it up. But this right now, the space that we're sitting in, we're saying, okay, we're trying something new. We're still very much in like the beginning phases of it. But we'll take you guys along. And we just want to be super transparent about that. Like,
yeah, like we're not coming here at the end with a course and it's finished and it's proven and it's working, but we are saying, hey, this wasn't working for us anymore.
Right.
And so now we're trying this. And I think that we are seeing very slow, very steady upward trends, enough to keep us hopeful and feeling good to keep going. And so yeah, I think like recognizing that like you're allowed to pivot at any point, and that can look like however's best for you. There's a million ways to work this business. And then also like give yourself grace, because like as you get better, in fact, the only way to get better is to fail. Okay. And I was actually I was at an interview the other day, and he was asking me how do I manage failure in my business? And I'm like, oh, that's easy, because I've literally failed in my business a million times. Like I literally built my business on failing. You know? And it's 100% true. Like I have flopped and failed and done so much cringy stuff, like literally so many times, but I have learned every single time, you know? So you're allowed to pivot, you're allowed to change, you're allowed to work this business how it works what best for you. But like you're so worth it, you know, like you're so worth it. And for whatever degree you want this business to work for you, you can make it happen. But yeah, it's a tough time in business, I think, right now. I think any sales industry right now is tough. And so, you know, maybe you guys are feeling it, maybe you're not feeling it in the same way that maybe Bree and I are. But what we do know is that like we're not bad at what we do. We are good consultants. We provide good customer service and good leadership. We just know that we're at a point, a moment where we're just having to pivot and change a little bit. You know?
And also the underlying thing, and the thing that I want you guys to always remember, is that like we love it here. Me and Alex love it here. And so the point of pivoting comes from a place of like, this space brings us joy, but we have to get back to it coinciding and coexisting with it, producing what we need it to produce, right? Which is like income, you know, and things like that. And so it's just making those two ends meet, because the love for this business and the overarching joy that it has provided and does provide, like you guys and just all the things that Scentsy has done for us, 100%, like still all in that regard. And so you just make sure that you're checking in with yourself. Your why is still very important to tie back to, you know, why did you join this business? Maybe it's changed, maybe it's grown, maybe it's different. That's okay. That's totally okay. But making sure that you stay connected in that way.